Much for joining us here on this Wednesday at noon. I'm Brooke Hash. The verdict is in. Hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs has been acquitted on the most serious charges in a split verdict. Jurors reached a decision after telling the judge they had agreed on all but one of those counts. ABC's Rena Roy has been following the trial from outside the courthouse in Lower Manhattan.
Hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs found partially guilty in his federal criminal trial. The jury finding him not guilty of the most serious charge, racketeering conspiracy, but finding him guilty of counts 3 and 5, transportation to engage in prostitution. Combs also found not guilty of sex trafficking. The prosecution calling 34 witnesses over the course of more than 6 weeks, including ex-girlfriends, former Combs employees, and rapper Kid Cudi. Prosecutors argued Combs and his associates used his business as a criminal enterprise to lure and traffic his ex-girlfriends Cassie Ventura and a woman who testified under the pseudonym Jane. They both testified they felt forced into drug-fueled sex performances with male escorts that Combs referred to as freak-offs, hotel nights, or wild king nights. The jury seeing more than 1,000 exhibits, including photos of baby oil and lubricant, assault weapons, and drugs. This footage also at the heart of the case, showing Combs kicking and dragging Ventura in 2016 at the Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles, after she says she tried to leave a freak off. The defense argued the women were willing participants in fulfilling Combs' sexual desires and that all the encounters we heard about in this trial were consensual. Ventura's lawyer releasing a statement saying in part, by coming forward with her experience, Cassie has left an indelible mark on both the entertainment industry and the fight for justice. The judge said he will decide today whether or not Combs will get released. He's giving prosecutors and the defense until this afternoon to write letters arguing for and against his release. Throughout the trial, Combs' family showing up almost every day in support. Rapper Kanye West, known as Ye, also coming to court one day.
Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Next up, Combs in court for sentencing, and he faces up to 20 years in prison. Well, back here in Kentucky, the biggest trial of the decade continues out of Bowling Green. The Crystal Rogers murder case against Brooks Houck and Joseph Lawson. The prosecution rested its case yesterday, and now to the defense. One of the morning's first witnesses, a canine consultant, paid $10,000 to testify on behalf of the defense, who said a trained cadaver dog who alerted police to the back of Houck's grandmother's Buick could not be dependable. The expert said a dog who is cross-trained in finding people alive and dead might give false alerts. Prosecutors, though, during cross-examination asked if it was still possible to pick up on a scent even despite the car being processed. The expert confirmed it was possible. Tuesday, attorneys for Brooks Houck and Joseph Lawson requested the judge issue a verdict in this case rather than by a jury, but he denied that request. And as of now, the jury has heard testimony about tense family conversations following Rogers' disappearance. Joseph Lawson's stepmom said she overheard him talking about moving a car and $50,000, and then later threatened to expose his father's involvement during a fight. Joseph's grandmother also said she recalled him saying a few years ago that his dad killed Crystal, and she warned him not to make such claims without proof. Our Alexander Goldberg was in the courtroom for that back and forth.
Judge Charles Sims speaking from the bench with the jury out of the room, saying there is proof of death in this case. Quote, when you add up all of that, the court believes it would be reasonable for a jury to find that Miss Rogers is deceased in this case. Words prompting tears and wailing in the courtroom from Crystal Rogers' family, seen here during a recess dressed in pink. Also in pink, supporters flashing signs outside of the Warren County Justice Center, praying for Crystal.
I've been praying for Sherry and for Tommy at the time, and just for their whole family.
Tuesday brought shocking witness testimony. Canine handler Terry Benjamin testifying his cadaver dog Ranger was very interested in the trunk of a white Buick. That car previously belonging to a Whiteside's, Houck's grandmother. It was 1 year later and the car was parked in the Louisville impound lot. The dog trained to alert for a scent of human remains. A detective from Louisville testifying that Whiteside sold the car just days after the late Tommy Ballard, Rogers' father, posted on Facebook. He was looking for information on what it could have been doing near the Houck family farm on July 3rd, 2015. But some of the final Commonwealth witnesses to take the stand are rated to Joseph Lawson, the man on trial for evidence tampering and conspiracy to commit murder. Barbara Coulter, Joseph's grandmother, testifying about her own son now in prison, Steve Lawson, that in the summer of 2022, Joseph, quote, told me that I needed to know Stephen killed Crystal. She said Joseph didn't provide any other details. It was just a point-blank statement. Defense saying the father and son often said awful things about each other, blaming the statement on their love-hate relationship. Now, the jury will hear the other side of the story. Defense saying they didn't do it. In Bowling Green, Alexandra Goldberg, WHAS11, on your side.
So the prosecution wrapped earlier than expected, which means the trial could come to an end well before that previous expectation of July 8th. We'll be posting updates all day long on our live blog, WHAS11.com. Already a lengthy blog going on tonight on WHAS 11 Plus. Tune in at 9 o'clock for special trial coverage with Shay McAllister, Alexander Goldberg, and Doug Proffitt, as well as insight from our legal analyst, Nick Mudd. It's free to watch. Just download the WHAS 11 Plus app on your TV. An update on a weekend shooting in the Russell neighborhood. Metro Police have said one of two women shot Saturday night has died. That happened around 9:30 on Madison Street. Both women were taken to the hospital where one of them died yesterday. Police said the other is expected to survive. No arrests have been made, so anyone with information is urged to call that anonymous tip line 574 LMPD. Three young girls now facing charges in connection to a shooting in West Louisville that injured two other teens. That shooting happened on May 30th near 15th and Chestnut Streets, and today LMPD believes everyone's been accounted for. Their latest arrest, a 14-year-old girl. Then there's a 13-year-old and a 12-year-old girl who turned herself in on Monday. All three charged with 2 counts of assault. Louisville police stepping up patrols in Nulu ahead of a busy holiday weekend. Market Street has become a late-night hotspot, drawing hundreds of young people to the sidewalks and outside of businesses. LMPD said they were able to clear out the crowds last weekend before a potential street takeover could happen. Mayor Craig Greenberg said extra officers will be on patrol this 4th of July weekend, many volunteering for those overtime shifts.
You are not allowed to drink on the streets. You're not allowed to drink on the sidewalks in Louisville when you're on public property. You are not allowed to block traffic whether you're drinking or not. And so LMPD and others, we will be taking action to enforce that.
Mayor Greenberg said the downtown entertainment district plans have also been paused for safety. At his weekly news briefing, he said the city wants to make sure there are enough police officers to keep people safe before moving forward with a new proposal that would have allowed people to drink outside while walking from place to place. No timeline yet on when that entertainment district plan could resume. Great day to be walking outside as long as you like the heat. It's feeling okay. Still hot.
It's definitely a tolerable amount of heat for us, Brooke. That front did us a lot of good yesterday, and now we've got a nice blue sky across downtown Louisville. Temperatures in the mid-80s, so a bit warmer, but the humidity levels much lower. That makes a difference in how the air actually feels. So we had those winds out of the northwest at 5 miles per hour, keeping all of us into those lower 80s this afternoon. 80 near Bedford, 82 Brandenburg, 81 Hodgenville, 81 for you folks towards LaGrange. So very comfortable outdoors throughout our afternoon time. You can expect quiet conditions, staying dry and quiet on satellite and radar. Just a few fair weather clouds happening out in southern Indiana. We're going to continue to stay in this trend throughout the rest of our day. We've got temperatures that will be staying in their seasonable ranges for this time of the year. Typically, we see temperatures reach the mid to upper 80s, and that's what we're expecting this afternoon. Temperatures will reach very close to 90 degrees. A few of you may even briefly see 90 degrees, but with these north winds bringing in that less humid air, it's going to be very tolerable throughout the later parts of the day. Our Thursday morning start off with temperatures in between the upper 60s and the lower 70s. With another round of quiet conditions. Now, as we head into the next 7 days, we are going to gradually see temperatures return back into the lower 90s. By the weekend, the humidity levels will be increasing again, and we're tracking chances for showers to return as we head into the next upcoming work week. We'll have a full breakdown all about your details regarding the 4th of July forecast coming up here in just a few short minutes. Brooke?
Thank you. Now to the ongoing debate over proposed data center in Oldham County. Yesterday, we saw a massive win for opponents and a major setback for the developers. The Oldham County Fiscal Court passed a 150-day moratorium on data center development with no special exceptions. That decision came the same day the judge executive, David Vogel, fired his right-hand man, former deputy judge executive Joe Ender after Ender accused Vogel of collusion. He alleges Vogel colluded with the developer, Western Hospitality Partners, to purchase land and build a sports complex and/or a swimming pool for the county in exchange for obtaining zoning permits. Well, now Ender is threatening a lawsuit for his wrongful termination. The accusations have some residents worried transparency issues will now overshadow the original data center debate.
This is a whole other animal. They need to be radically transparent from here on out in this process. Otherwise, it's going to continue to get worse.
Is one of a number of voters who recused himself from voting on the data center moratorium. We're talking about the judge executive there. The purpose is to give the fiscal court time to establish data center guidelines.